let's talk about a few rules that are mandatory for you to follow to be successful within making calls and setting up appointments. Now, these steps are very, very important, and you must follow all the time to eliminate not being successful or not having the production that you need. Number one, you need to give the client your full attention. We're talking about you need to focus 100% on that conversation. That means you need to give them your attention. You need to pretty much block everything, whatever's going on, whatever other calls, whatever situation, and you need to literally focus on the client because it's going to require 100% of your effort, your energy to be able to persuade them to come in. Now, if they receive that message the way you're actually focusing on, they're going to understand exactly what you want to do for them and they will commit to an appointment. Number two, no distractions at all. So regardless if you're working on a call, specifically having a customer on the line or making calls, no distractions whatsoever. Now, you may have a co-worker, another representative that sits next to you. You really have to block everything and you need to focus on one call after another one after another one after another one. Why? Because that's the only way we're actually gonna accomplish our goal and get our production going. Now, if you're constantly being distracted, maybe the phone's ringing, someone's distracting you, so by the time they answer, it takes you a couple seconds to get back into the reality that you're actually working on calls. Versus the way I work, I'm ready to go. As soon as they answer, there's a switch, and I execute 100%. I execute to the best of my ability, but I'm focused, confident, aggressive, and full attention is specifically on that call. So no distractions. And you always have, number three, you always have to leave a message. Now, I've discussed this concept on other segments, but leave a message. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Leave a message. Let them know who you are. Let them know who we are, the purpose of the call, and what do we have to offer. Leave your phone number, the office phone number, but you have to leave a message. The next one, number 4, you need to learn all the closing tools or the justifying tools or making the information realistic, but you have to really learn it, memorize it, and know how to execute it because it's going to make a major difference and it's going to help you obtain the quantity of appointments that you need to obtain. Simply, if you're more aggressive and you're closing more appointments, then it gives you a better opportunity for them to show up. So the more knowledgeable, the more aggressive, the more information, the more closing tools you have, the more successful you're going to become. You need to understand that you're going to follow up with clients multiple times. Now, don't get discouraged. Don't look at it in a negative way, but we're going to call these customers over and over and over. If it's a missed appointment, we're going to call them maybe twice a day, 3 times a day. If it's a lead, we're going to call them every single day. It doesn't really matter when we call them last. If you're not getting them on the phone, if you're not setting up an appointment, then that lead is still a potential and we have not accomplished anything at all. So you have to understand you're going to make multiple calls for every single client. Some customers a lot more, maybe 2-3 times a day, versus other clients maybe once a day, once every other day. But you have to understand that this is the system that you need to follow, and that's going to give you a better opportunity of getting customers on the line and setting up appointments. You really got to have a great attitude, positive attitude, great attitude, good energy. You have to transmit that good energy, good vibes over the phone. They're going to like you more. If you sound boring, if you sound low, if your tone is low, then I might as well listen to a robot. So you have to get into character. You have to have some enthusiasm. You have to have great attitude because it makes a difference. You don't have them face to face. They don't see your expressions or your physical movement. So literally, they're just going to go based on the information, the voice, your energy. So great attitude is very, very important. The last one, you have to assume a positive outcome. So what do I mean by that? You're making calls. Before you make calls, you have to assume that every conversation, every phone call there's going to be a positive outcome. So if no one answers, what's a positive outcome? That you're leaving your phone number on their caller ID. Let's say they don't have an option for a voicemail. That's positive. Number two, if you leave a message, you're leaving the information. You're planting a seed of what we have and what we want to offer and the way we want to help them. So that's positive. That's the positive outcome. If you get them on the phone, you need to understand that you need to set up an appointment. You need to believe that you're going to be capable of closing the appointment and obviously closing the appointment for today. So you have to be positive. You have to believe that the outcome is going to be positive even before you start. All of these rules are very important. Write them down. Keep them in mind. It's mandatory to follow a specific system, to follow certain rules that are going to help you and they're going to guide you through the process of making calls, and you are going to have better production.